Ha.
I see you got it before.
Welcome everyone. It's been a week, and I have to say, I kinda missed Garrett a little bit. After playing Ozymandias for a week. I'm kinda glad to be back. But, because I've had some time to think things through, I think I'm gonna be more after the main quests. I'm gonna do the Gwen tournament definitely sooner or later, but I'm not gonna get hung up with all the side quests like I was just starting to when I played last time. Alright. See what I mean? I've already I've already taken up some quests that are not exactly aiding me in come on, those can't possibly all be workers working on. Actually, they are. They're all working on the monument. Well, I'll be damned. And why, if this monument is so important, why in the name of Geralt isn't there a fast traveling post somewhere around here? Maybe I haven't spotted it yet.
I do what they paid me to do, that's it.
That must be it, right? I haven't spotted it yet. Well, I do have a problem, right? I do have a problem. Ha! Finally. Finally, you can actually watch the game. Yes. As you can see, it has just crashed. Well, well, well. This is not going as smooth as I had hoped. Now what is this? It's telling me the Witcher has crashed. The same moment it's telling me, wow, the Witcher can't be closed. Ha, finally. Now it's gone. So let's start it up again as soon as we can. Alright, loading up again.
I see you got it before.
Alright, so let's go to business right away.
Try to be more careful.
Going up there, there was a fast traveling post. Well, maybe it's on this side. Well, they are all working on it. That's true.
We export grapes to Metena, Ebbing, Nasser, even Zerikania.
Ah, see, here it is, the artisan quarry. So all these missions will be taking place north of the Covillo Vineyard.
Best cure for the beast, a witcher.
Ah, indeed. I know you. I to see you know what you're talking about. And there's some wolves. I have to go over this bridge. Alright, it's coming towards me.
Just wonderful.
Come towards me now. That's right.
Show me what you got.
And the last one. You're hiding. See, that's more like it.
Look around. Damn. Ripped to shreds. Smashed bones. Damn, it was strong.
Yes,
Deep
all the
rings.
footsteps.
Blood. Just trying to get away. Damn it.
What is it? A Spriggan. Okay. They have definitely come up with some new beasts. No, a Spriggan, that's probably a relic, right? But it's not listed here, or an oak, right? Might have to kill it first. I'll just try it with the ogrite oil and see where that takes us.
What now, you piece of filth?
Okay, we have not taken any drinks yet, so I guess it's time. Oh, okay. Maybe that was not really necessary anymore at this
Behind
point.
these roots.
Oh, okay, spring is a kind of lesson, I see.
Come out. I'm not gonna hurt you.
Well, no, they've gone right into the rocks.
Thank you, Sir Witcher. Let the Ota keep you in his care.
One day later, and it's a lovely day in Toussaint. And what now? What exactly happened one day later? Well, one day later we're just back on the road, or what? Alright, there's a guarded treasure. Come out and play. Okay, and the second one gone. Now there's one left. Okay, that's it. Oh, the red thing's gone. Was it a nest? Let's read the journal and find out. thick journal written in a steady hand. The last pages, however, contain different handwriting, full of blots and crossed out words. A mysterious gentleman has come to me asking whether I would agree to sell him the stock of barrels we are preparing for the new wine variety. I refused him curtly, for I know how much the new wine means to Miss Matilda, and how much depends on this wine's success. After all, things have been very tight at the vineyard these last days. This extremely mysterious gentleman has turned out to be equally extremely wealthy. He came to me again with a very hefty pouch. Bumblasted, it will be very hard to refuse him if he puts me to that trial again. Today I forgot to lock the gates to the barracks storehouse. I'm very ashamed, but what could I do? Miss Matilda's crushed. I won't touch that coin until all has settled down. I've hidden a sack stuffed with a guardian Florence in the sunflower fields. I would not want someone to find such a fortune in my home. He has paid me another visit. This time he wanted me to procure him the recipe for the new wine. I do have some honor. Barrels are one thing. I can make new ones, perhaps even better ones, but the recipe for the wine. I said I'd sooner die. Then he gave me this strange look, sent shivers down my spine. I think I'd best barricade my doors this night. So where are these sunflower fields, eh? Guess I have to take up the quest, sorry. Okay, that's where it's at. I guess I will stick to what I'm already doing here. Look at the amount of quests we already have. Another pack of wolves. Bandits! Oh no, not again. I hate bandits.
Damn.
Now come after me, yes, that's right. Alright. Okay. This is narrow right in my chest. Alright. We freed them. We freed them all.
Thank you, good sir. You would be the famous Witcher, would you not?
Exactly.
I shall hitch my wagon and
Exactly.
set off for the monument works at once. They await me there.
Will it again be a day later? Look at that night sky. I would bet my ass on it that they don't have baguette with fish pat. Okay. I was just about to say. I would bet my ass that they don't have good loot. But well, I guess that is enough. There you go, Roach. Now take me to the next beating. Right well, my horse. I shan't forget it. I shall reward you well. What now? What awaits us here? Okay.
Here's the cart. Hey, wake up.
What? Giddy up.
Really now, because I just drank.
Wake up.
Leave me in peace, Witcher.
Good evening.
Wake up.
Oh. Slow but steady, they are waking up.
Excuse me, boy.
Come on, get up.
Now where's the last worker? I seem to have trouble finding him. Oh, must be this one.
White Wolf of Salvatore! Saint Lebioda sent you. I must now repair my wagon. They await me at the building site.
So long.
What a great quest. They've all just been dealing with the booze, the most dangerous enemy of them all. Well, he's just watching how the monument is coming along. And that thing over there, doesn't that look just like a satellite dish?
Long live Duchessa Anna Henrietta.
Alright, now, Mr. Merchant,
I made the best offer.
Greetings, traveler.
trade
Have you
with
any
me.
needs?
Mind if I glance at what you got?
Relics of Foreign-Home Sword. Oh, no, I don't really dig that.
So long.
Good luck on the path.
Now there's the notice board. And there's another quest awaiting.
Witcher. They're smearing his highness. For 4 generations. That is how long my family has been producing wine.
Producing plonk unfit to drink, you mean? Which is exactly why you should sell Belgat to me, not him.
As a ducal clerk, I must look after the duchy's best interests. Belgard currently belongs to the treasury. The minister of the treasury has clearly expressed his desire that Belgard be handed over to a responsible steward. Yet, diverse troubles beset both your present holdings. Until you resolve them and thus prove yourselves competent, selling Belgard to either of you is out of the question.
Well, Happy? This is your fault.
Mine? You're deranged, woman.
What? Oh, you're talking to the lady.
Hark!
What's your tone?
Good folk! Be it known, Matilda de Vermentino is a cursed, spiteful lunatic!
Look at that
Doesn't
sky.
look cursed to me. Just really, really angry. Ticked her off quite a bit, you have.
Truly, how would you know? A shrew tamer, are you?
Not
Better.
all about women,
A
actually.
connoisseur.
I see we speak the same tongue. So tell me, the swords, you merely wear them to intimidate? Or do you actually use them?
Tools of my trade. I'm a witcher.
Not seeking work, are you? You see, I wish to buy a vineyard. Belgard. Yet that bloody bureaucrat's not likely to sell it to me until I settle my troubles at home, at Coronata.
What kind of troubles we talking about?
It's botched in more ways than one. The herbarium, infested with monsters. My steward gone missing, with an entire transport of wine. And someone's abducted my herbalist.
A lot of bad luck for one little vineyard.
If you ask me, it's that Matilda, her handiwork. A sugar-sweet face, a temper sharp as horseradish. So will you help?
Good look into it, but not for free.
That goes without saying. What is your rate?
The highest rate. Oh. That is what I will demand.
Could you not reduce it a shave? That sounds fair.
851.
Sure sounds like work for a witcher. Yeah, I'll help.
I am really, truly grateful. Thank you. My vineyard lies east of here. You're sure to find it. Now forgive me. I must talk to that quill pusher. I might win him over yet.
Well, even if you do, the contract is done, so you'll have to pay me anyways.
Psst. You're a witcher, yes? I
Let's
heard
see
you
her
talking to
side
that
of the
oafish
story.
ogre Liam. Disgusting man. The worst sort. First, seduces with a dashing gaze, the fair face, then reveals a coal-black heart. But that's all besides the point. I stopped you because I want to buy Belgard too. Alas, things are rotten at my own vineyard, Vermentino.
Strange coincidence.
No coincidence. I am certain Liam's thrown a stick in my spokes. Several sticks. My cooper and blacksmith both have mysteriously vanished. Man-eating plants have sprouted on my paths, and strange things are afoot on Pheasant Hill. The list goes on, but the crux is one. I must solve my problems at Vermentino if I'm to stand any chance of acquiring Belgard. Would you help me before you help Liam? I'm willing to pay more than he's offered you.
We'll see about that.
I sense we're close. Very close.
So do you, yeah?
I sense we're close. Very close. I sense we're close. Very close.
Well, you're not paying me the same as he does, but...
I sense we're close. Very close. I sense we're close. Very close.
How often are you going to say that, huh?
Fine. Settled.
I can help.
Well, you are paying
Please
less
try.
than that other guy,
Wonderful.
but maybe
You've no
we can
idea
work
how
something
much that
out.
means to me. My vineyard lies due west.
Wow, next to that glacier.
I shall stay here for a time. I must make certain Liam does not pull some stunt while my back is turned.
Gotcha. Farewell.
Duchessa Anna Henrietta.
Let's get on with our mission, shall we?
Can't pull one over on me, Witcher. I can see you're a killer.
Oh no, not again. Looks like it's bandits. What could we do to improve this, huh?
Greetings. Nice day, eh?
And
What
verily
is
I
this,
say
huh?
unto
Are
you,
they not working?
if men were but to let the prophet Lepiota's teachings into their hearts,
You can't pull one over. Me, Witcher, I can see.
What is this? A palace? Temple of the Prophet Lebiota. I'm sure this is where my mission will take me, right? Why can't they just tell me so?
Can't pull one over
I should
on me,
walk
Witcher,
all
I
the
can
way
see.
back to get my
In
quest.
front. Start no pros.
Saying you're the Duke of this, the Duke of that, you're the Duke of
Impressive.
Ah, that's the
It's
foreman
yet
again.
another milestone. How am I to tell the investor?
What now? That's not really where I have to go. Okay.
Patrolling on an empty
Apparently I
stomach.
was mistaken. But never fear, it's not far.
Damn, lots of them.
His face, tweet.
What? I'm almost done. I'm almost done. Okay, of course I don't want to wait all the way here.
Not this again.
Like Lepiota's sentence.
Not this again.
Come here. Now will you come here?
You like this? I mean, really?
Now come on, hit me. Try to hit me.
Never learn. Damn it. Damn.
You actually hit me. Now, this can't be all.
those clever curse steps.
Pack her up! Circle him! Circle him! You killed him! You son of a tartmunch!
Damn it.
Oh, you twat!
No, come on, this should fight me here, huh?
Guardsman! He's stubborn-axe! Go diddle up that son! Save us! Kitty eyes!
No, come on, guy. Come at me.
Never fight a witcher.
Guardsman! He's stubborn-axe! Oh, you twat!
Ah, now I didn't turn around in time. Yep, that's the merchant.
But why even bother? What did they hope to steal? Hammers? A hunk of stone?
I see. All right. High time I set off.
The next day, or one day later. Only the hat missing. Let's just go back to that ship and see if we missed anything. Oh, actually that ship's gone. Now isn't that strange? In that case, let's check out that temple.
The guard brings peace to our domains. Flout its writ and rot in chains.
That Gwent would be the end of me. I lost it.
Spectre in a place like this? Behind a wall? Someone must have walled some poor fellow up. Spirit can't rest in peace.
Whoa! Okay. Bones of the great beggar.
Spirit won't rest in peace until I bury the remains. Some sarcophagi in the first chamber. One of them could work.
What now? Suddenly we're an expert in the arts of burying. What now? The Great Beggar's Journal. 7 of Faya in 1203. The attacks have grown more forceful. The residents of the nearby village who oppose my presence become more aggressive by the day. They do not like that I speak the truth about their former deities. They cannot understand that we'll only find salvation in Lebioda. They threaten me with death, but if I am to die for Lebioda, if that is the destiny the prophet has marked out for me, I shall fulfill it with a broad smile on my face. 14 Phaeon 1203. I have just parted with a most marvelous guest, a true convert, a man of extraordinary yearning for truth and faith. He is called Merton, and was once a witcher, but has abandoned that dishonorable trade and embarked on the path of truth. We spoke at length, and sat together for hours in meditation and prayer. To better honor Lebioda, he left behind here many goods which symbolize his attachment to his former life. He has made great progress. Oh, if only all the disciples of Lebioda were so fervent in their faith, this world would be a better place. Merton confessed to me the bitter truth about the foul deeds he had wrought in his past life. I told him if he is to obtain cleansing, he must go to the hidden chapel. Reaching this bleak place, which is carved out of rock and ridden with dangerous creatures, will in itself constitute a challenge and a trial. If Lebioda lets him enter the chapel's confines, it means he has forgiven his sins, his crimes. And so Merton went. Let Lebioda guide his feet. 9 of Phaeon 1203. My fate is sealed. I shall die for my faith, for truth, for Lebioda. This night, folk from the village, a band of drunken thugs, attacked the temple. With hate and malice on their breath, they cried that since I am the great beggar, I should now beg Lebioda for mercy. They looted the temple of all its treasures, thankfully leaving the books which they deemed worthless, and walled me in to wither in a sealed tomb. If Lebioda does not send me help, I will die here. May my bones bear witness to his glory. Not too shabby, all this. Okay, apparently I cannot read that note. Now, that's...
Ready. Soul should rest in peace now.
Go to the hidden chapel. Just let me check where it is and then we'll continue with the temple. I think that's where I already went, right? Go to the ruins of Bastoy prison. Okay. Yep, we're on a good way.
The way to zip through the streets while everyone sleeps.
Down we have a fast traveling post here. Yes. see, in some things this game just never disappoints. But it's still a long way. Blackman's Bridge, that's the closest we can go from here.
Let's go. Whoa!
Good sir, help! Vileness in the fields!
Another vineyard infestation. It's probably an achievement for getting rid of all of those too, right? Wait here, Roach.
Not good.
Well, apparently they're dead.
Blood. Lots of it. Kikimores?
Kikimores? What are Kikimores? But it actually does sound like a thing. Could use this. These are Kikimores. Okay, I will need the gold Oreo. So let's recover. Actually, let's apply that draconite oil. And now the golden Oreo. Alright. Don't want that damn torch. That was not done very well. Maybe there is something in the bestiary about these. Kikimaras doesn't seem so. Kikimor. White honey. Igni. And insectoid. Oh, insectoid oil. That would help. Okay. An insectoid oil it is. Learned something about the Kikamor warrior. Basically the same thing.
Incinerate these to ash. So I will.
Are there more of them?
So, missing workers. This is what became of them.
Phew. That's tough. But still, look what they've created. Well, now, to be honest, I think there will be bandits here. Don't fancy going there. So, Harold.
I shall kill you! Sign board! Blimey! Sniffers fast!
Is he riding off? No. Now we actually have to apply a potion. Not to be killed by this rider. Yes! Off with his head.
Whoa!
Right now, there's a boar. Don't fancy fighting with a boar. These beasts are wild. And another boar. Now there are some trustworthy workers. And Ragnar, oh yeah, we can slow down for him. Look at him, he's not working. They're both not moving properly.
One thing only. Acquiring Belgard.
Keep calm!
Slowly sliding along.
Pretty faces. The head of the Dorns is empty.
Says the most foppish villain.
The door is locked. Where does it lead? Whenever there's a locked door, I'm determined to get through it. Oh, what now? Have all people here lost the ability to walk properly?
Keep calm. Start no brawls.
So let's see.
And
All
verily I
this is
say
gone.
unto you, if men were but to
What?
let the
Watch
prophet
out! I'm
Lepiotus'
working here, Yun.
teachings
The
into their
bells must
hearts,
give you one hefty
this
reduction.
world would be a more pleasing place. Thus praise
Where is the foreman? There he is.
Helped you finish the statue like you asked.
Master, what would I have done without you? Countless throngs of Lepiotus' followers will praise in prayer.
And you'll pay me, right?
But of course, your reward. The Infestor is a serious man of enterprise. Our plan foresees mass conversions. With the donations that will follow, we aim to recoup the cost of production in 3 to 5 years. Everything has been calculated, you see, down to the last decimal.
Good luck then. Farewell.
She could be bothered less.
Just a few more ledges, and I shall get to Lucas's school. The guard brings peace to our domain. Flout its wit, not in jail.
Oh! Now, keep calm.
Oh, where's that sunflower field? Over there it is. Mr. Roach. Ah. Don't gallop yourself. Now this way it is, you say? Ah, it seems right to me.
Come on.
The high and mighty northerner dog did but a few drops of wine. Lord.
Do monsters have mamas and got the shivers?
Okay, now what? There's the sunflower field. 75 florons. That's all. Just amazing how they make it work with such little. Sorry guys, just have to check one thing real quick. Okay, now I'm ready to continue. Whoa, this is a long way away. Oh, let's just...
If I can get a loan from Chelford.
Come on, Witcher, you can just walk over that.
I had positively
And you know it.
My mama's too comfortable.
All the dogs here are just lazy. I'm sure there is a fast travel post at the south end of the town as well. We just haven't discovered it yet.
Hickoryto. Where are your manners?
Hunter, Duke,
Snow White, you with the exquisite hair.
He's not.
The butcher of Luffigan called to be the
Work
savior.
doth one know.
Theotis just tales of roaring heartburn.
I lent you coin for wine. For the beast, a witcher.
The raucous is terrifying at times.
Well, look at him, retching up here.
Greetings, monsieur. You need something?
mind if I glance at your stock?
What is this bullshit? Well, at least he has coin. Selling all my beer. It's a decision I just made. It's for the best. Especially the homemade pepper vodka. Now, there we go. Dimerithium shackles. Just selling 3 of these. Broke meteorite pickaxe. No, that's going away. As well as these shells. Well, at least we could sell something.
See ya.
He's a friendly fellow.
Ah.
Cheap shenanigans. I can't see things with his cataracts.
And what are these? They're screaming about.
What's that you wanted?
Dropping Bancombe awaits a challenger.
Take it
His
for a
tongue,
ride!
as devastating as his fists. His riposts bring grown men to tears. Who dares?
Sir! Come to me, please! Approach!
Yes, I approach.
You mustn't get slumped.
Jacket.
My eyes were not deceived. Yet so far south. You, sir, of all folk in all your fame.
Mm-hmm. Me, south in all my fame.
Oh, I've heard so much. Why, when Master Dandelion tarried in Beauclair, not a day passed without him baying out a ballad in admiration of your deeds.
Yeah, unwelcome little habit of his. But, what can I do for you?
You see, my betrothed, Francois Le Goff, vowed in my honor to bring me the head of the horrid beast they call Gretore.
Couldn't have gotten you a bouquet, some sweets in a bag?
Which, sir, you jest. A love most true demands proof through heroic deeds dedicated to the heart's captor.
Of course.
But alas, Francois has been gone a fortnight. Thus, I must plead with you to see what's become of him. Could you? Would you?
I would.
This Gretore. Know anything else about it, mademoiselle? Judging by the name, guessing it lives in a cave.
Yes. From which it prowls when hungry. By night, when all are asleep, it creeps into villages. Then, of a sudden, breaks open shutters, reaches inside and snatches babes from their cradles so quickly they've not the time to yelp.
Nocturnal, long prehensile arms, intelligent.
Francois claimed he would cut the filth down in a snap, but he's been gone so long. Will you help, sir? I cannot sleep. I fear this worrying will be
But
the
will
death
you
of me.
still marry him? If the guy couldn't fulfilling his heroic deed himself.
Rarely my wont to turn down a damsel in distress, even less so when there's a prize involved.
Ah, naturally. Why, you, sir, are no knight-errant, but a guildsman, an expert. How much would you need?
What? Come again?
Master, forgive me, but you ask much too much.
Much too much?
Yes, that amount I am prepared to pay.
Do my damnedest to get your fiancé back safe and sound. Just, mind telling me where to look for him?
I forget you come from afar and do not know our land. They say Grotore has its lair in the caves at the foot of the Gorgon Hills.
That close to the city? Telling me no bold souls have ventured out to defeat the beast?
Quite the contrary. Plenty have, but none's returned. My concern is well founded.
I see. All right. High time I set off.
High time indeed. Oh, okay. Grotore. What is it? A relic? Indeed. Happened like this. A nasty rain caught me while I was out in the woods, so I thought to myself, I'll hide in some hollow, for God forbid I get soaked through and catch a cold at my age. So I crawled into a cave. And there, inside, something roars at me. Tore out of there so fast, winter dried my coat by the time I got home. No one knows exactly when the spriggan called Grotore first made its home in the caves at the foot of Mount Gorgon. Spriggans usually prefer isolated backwoods and rarely dens in caverns. Yet Grotore seemed to have taken a liking to grottos, giving rise to its nickname. The monster was quite well known among Beauclair knights, who often talked of it as a potential source for great glory. None were particularly eager to actually engage the monster in combat, however. None, that is, except for the young knight Francois.
To get a new coif from Jean.
Oh. Not so easy indeed.
I had an appointment and all. But when I walked in,
When the clock strikes 6, ladies start to work their lips. Surely you techniques. Do you know the colors I would see on the looks like a nitty-bitty Nancy.
The Witcher I may not be. Oh, let's find the bottle.
Be nimble. Be quick.
wish
didn't catch his breath.
What now? Le
Prefix
Papillon.
of Forehorn. So content to see you. Le Papillon Troubadour. Remember?
Hey there. You know what? The whole Ravix thing? Only ever a joke. Call me Geralt, please.
Geralt of Rivia? Naturally. How did it ever escape me? You must know, I'm a devoted fan
Of course.
Thanks.
of Master Dandelion. I know the bards, every ballad in his cycle about the Witcher. Oh, I cannot believe my luck.
Need something? From me?
Indeed, a matter most magnificent. My coiffeur, Jean-Louis Lotovic, has gone missing. Now, you shall rescue him while I compose an epic ballad about it. Listen, fair folk, to a glorious tale of a missing friseur and a widowhood prevail.
What happened exactly? Claim the hairdresser's missing, but are you sure?
Yes, yes. I've no doubt something's transpired. Something terrible, absurd. Jean-Louis is never late to work. He's punctual to a fault. I'm certain he'd be honored if I am the one to sing of his dramatic rescue.
Of course, why wouldn't he?
Who's gonna pay me to find this barber?
I will. Such opportunities come knocking rarely. But you must take me with you, for I must transcribe all that occurs as it happens.
Fine, but unusual as contracts go, it'll cost you more.
Naturally. To be expected.
What? This is a ridiculous small amount, but hey. Never
Yes,
mind.
by all means. As you wish.
Fine, see what I can learn. Now, if you have to come with me, just one request. Stay out of the way. Mine and my swords.
Of course. You shan't even notice me. Jean-Louis' studio is just there. Right here. Ah!
What's the matter?
I've hit upon the perfect ending. And all for the glory of her grace, the Duchess.
Thought this was about a witcher and a coiffeur. What's the Duchess got to do with it?
Her grace can be as fickle as the colt she rides. Today, all remember my fine couplets at the tourney. Yet tomorrow, her illustriousness bought by her breakfast might demand a new epic poem. One must grab at opportunity before it flits away. Well then, where shall we start?
At the door, by breaking it down.
Haha.
I named it neither.
I'll be right back to continue this absurd contract we've just received. Alright. Ready when you are. Let's break down that that door.
What do you want?
Scissors are completely dull. No way you can use these to cut hair.
Oh, he's an expert apparently.
Empty pomade jar. Strong floral fragrance.
Very strong.
Very strong.
That's Jean-Louis' special floral elixir. A recipe is a jealously guarded secret.
Looks like he ran out.
An advertising leaflet. Ladies and grand dames, are you ready for the new season? Only here, the latest hairstyles from the north at reasonable prices, avant-garde streaks and highlights, symmetrical and asymmetrical bobs, evening styles including the Her Illustrious Highness, old elven hair straightening treatments, permanent wave, truly it is permanent. Trust your scalp to the master, Jean-Louis Ludovic.
This jar's empty too.
Any finds? Dried blood. Knives.
Oh, let's look at this. Dear Jean-Louis, as you instructed, I have taken a post as Assistant Royal Hairdresser to King Tancred Toussaint and have been active in that position for 2 months. I dash this note off to you now because I must inform you of a most startling development. After weeks of analysis, consultations with specialists, and trial runs on model doppelgangers, the chief royal hairdresser, Master Hector, has decided to give Marziola, the king's current favorite, a bob. Of course, Marziola, being a mere king's mistress, cannot indulge in such extravagances as an asymmetric bob or a daringly shaped nape. Therefore her bob is rather of the classically elegant sort, with a fringe that wonderfully complements the line of her eyes and covers her altogether unfortunate forehead. Just as we speculated, the bob shall soon make a triumphant re-entry as the absolute rage of the royal salon. And thanks to me, you, my dear friend, are now the first hairdresser of the South to know about it. I thus declare my mission accomplished and a stunning success. I'll gather up my trappings and prepare to return. I hope you are ready for a long and eventful tete-a-tete once I arrive. And I hope that will be soon, for this seaside climate really does not suit me one bit, and the swill, the Calwine in Covir, is positively disgusting. I hope you enjoy more reading. Oh no, it's just a map.
A manicure, curling, Cintrian pendulum, Rivian ponytail, raftsman's due. Long enough style in Novigrad. His appointments. Last one was a certain Lady La Pompadour. Know her?
Yes, a dear old bird. Jean-Louis done her hair for a decade. Completely harmless.
Sketch here. Looks like a map. This mean anything to you?
I may understand where it points, but if so, there's not there. Just fields and meadows.
Oh, maybe he's gone off with his
I understand.
Grand Dame he's been dressing for a decade now.
Around he looked, yet all was quite proper. I see razors, pomades, but no blasted hair chopper.
Mind being quiet for a minute? Think I might know what happened to the hairdresser. No evidence of a break-in, no signs of a struggle. To my mind, he just went out to find ingredients for his pomade. Looks like he ran out of pomade.
Yes, indeed. He'd have gone into the meadows beyond the city to gather flower petals for it. Trolls must have devoured him. Or a cyclops. Splendid either way.
Splendid, he
Find a
says.
place using his map.
Naturally.
Lead the way then.
What is this? The formula. Extra virgin olive oil, rapeseed oil, half tablespoons of almond oil, castor oil, and grapeseed oil. Okay. Now, that's a nice fire. That will be cozy when you get home.
Got shone in its eyes, your glow, scent marking times like a daisical flow. They ventured beyond walls by vines.
How can you meditate when he's singing all through the hour?
To find.
Well.
Gotta do that the whole way.
Bidding them farewell, the gravestones musk covered, they strode briskly on by doubts unencumbered.
Faster, Le Papillon. Faster.
Halt! The location from the map.
Damn it, get back!
Ah! Save me! Witcher! like that silver.
Alright, it's gone. What a nice thing. What a nice thing.
What beast was that?
An Archospore.
Might there be more nearby?
Who knows?
Sure.
And your sharpened senses, what do they say?
That you'd rather turn and run.
Oh, a primo jest. Let us continue onward. I know you'll stand in my defense. You will you not? On to the second point on the map. The witch's blade flash juices spouted and poured, covering all about in an Archospore's core. No piece of the stylist fell from its bowels. The frisser had been nabbed by aught else most foul.
Come now. Just because I've run ahead doesn't mean you can just stand still.
There! Jean-Louis' basket! I'd recognize it anywhere. He was here.
A
We
basket
can be
of flower
certain now.
petals. Same smell as the pomade.
Aha.
Grass is trampled. Multiple sets of footprints. A little blood. Seems you were right. He ran into trouble.
Phew! What luck! I just hope it's not Cyclopes. Hard pressed to find a rhyme for that. So? On his trail yet, are you?
Yes, we are. Oh, we have an entrance marker. For what? Another cave, apparently.
Ground's made of rock. Trail's gone cold. Wandered deeper into the cave.
My, a talk so dark as to prod one to fear.
Fear uninspiring. No rhymes at the ready.
Trust me, Senan. This quaff is the latest rage. At the Kohiri court, they'll have nothing else. No damsel will manage to resist. Bolobo!
What is this now?
Hands down, I would have won the tournament. Pure poppycock, you beard mangler! The latest rage in some bomb-botched covir. We're in Nilfgaard, you bung munch!
What did he do to you?
What did he do? He quaffed me, gave me a duck's ass, an egg grape, a beaver bottle, I don't even know. So ashamed I couldn't attend the tourney. I'd have proved my valor, Mama said women that have been my prize. Then this scallywag with his talk of the rage missed my chance by the hair on my head.
Got him back good for
Damn, I like this story.
That is but the start. I've not yet decided if I shouldn't snip off something more.
Doesn't seem terribly chivalrous. What about honor? Your oath on the peacock? All that?
I do vow on the noble bird I shall gut you if you do not skedaddle. On guard! Stand and fight! I challenge thee! And you boys dare not intervene! By golly, by gum, this will be chivalrous!
Let the runes sing.
You shall hear of a witcher who walloped a raw knight's steady hair.
I'll spoon out your entrails, then do the same to the tuck-handed hairdresser!
You'll never learn.
Remember, you must win! I've already written the ending! Never fear! I'm noting it all down!
Come at me, come at me.
I shall
You
show
must
that
win!
shit style is
I'm already at the ending! Never fear! I'm noting it all down!
Damn it.
Yes, he's gone. Just overpowered.
It's grown rather late. I believe we'll be on our way.
Le Papillon, le Beholder's wounds. You saved me at the last second.
You're
You will
welcome.
get a free haircut for the
Jean-Louis
rest of the
Ludovic, I
year.
presume. Let's get out of here before
Quiet, both of you! I've got it! They froze in their fear, the knight's henchmen and squires, while his
Oh,
bowels
God,
set
help me.
loose. Heavenward spiraled. The witcher cleft him in two lacerated, his neck swing the swine adroitly castrated. With one more caress from the witcher's blade, the knight's guts popped out, his breakfast betrayed. Then he hobbled a pace on his stump arms like crutches, all for the glory of her grace, the Duchess.
What about my pay?
I've decided you should receive a reasonable share of the royalties. Payable, let us say, semi-annually?
Nope.
Meaning you're
No can
broke
do.
just now.
I owe you 1,000 thanks, Master Witcher. I'll gladly pay your reward. Not to mention trimming you when you see the need and come by.
Thanks. Take care now.
At least one honorable man in that cave. Plus, they'll let me loot. Well, there was something to loot here, I know it. There was a chest here, there it is. Fuck's that. So what is next, huh? Yes, I'd like to investigate an Isle. But hey, first, yes, I guess that's probably best to just go back to town. Remember, we did have another quest that, for the love of God, I couldn't get. Probably started. Roach, why are you down there? Will you come up here? Come on now, Roach. There you are. Good boy. Good boy.
You can't pull one over on me, Witcher. I can see your...
Yes, that was the quest I was doing.
No, Picarito.
Oh, make like a bowl of yarn and unravel. Make like a bowl of yarn and
I
unravel.
only knew how I could get in here.
That's right. Make.
Oh, maybe there's a hidden door here.
Dipple a diddle of wine.
Well, I was just here rubbing you, and you don't mind.
Well.
Ah, of course. I just happened to overlook the stairs.
Whose notion of order is this? Why doesn't someone do something?
Charles Lenzano.
What's this about?
Ah, the notice. Is that it? Are you a witcher, master?
Noises at the cemetery. You the one they bother?
Yes, yes, and I'm alone in that, it seems. That is, no one else has bothered to take any steps, though all must hear the racket. I took the matter up with the ducal guard. They claim they found nothing, but I'm not sure they even bothered to look. What's left for me to do? Should I sniff about the cemetery myself?
Oh hell, why not?
The noises, they pretty regular?
Each night, I live next door. I hear it loud and clear, as if through a horn someone had stuck in my ear. Ah! Hawk! Ooh!
Ferk!
Firk! And then whack! Thud! As if a mother bear slammed pate first into a cupboard.
Know exactly what you mean.
Really?
How much will I get for this?
How much would you like?
What?
What? Much too much. I don't believe I have that amount. What would you
Come on
say
now,
to
you
a
sit up
festival
here.
discount on account of the tourney?
In your own private room and discuss things that you say are of great importance.
Sorry,
and
can't help
then
you.
Then why the devils bother me at all? Ah! What notion of order is this? Why doesn't someone do something?
No, Picarito.
Damn it, I'll do it.
Conscience speak.
Fine, I'll tend to it.
No one's come to harm, thank the gods. Why? Do you think it might be a monster?
Could be.
Well,
Doesn't need to.
you apparently think so,
Might also
or
be grave
why
robbers,
else would you hire a
tramps.
witcher
Remains to be
for
seen.
55 gold?
Can't rightly say what would be worse. Whatever the case, Godspeed, master.
Off we go. Off to my tomb. Yes, I can hear the noises already.
Oh,
Is it the old woman here?
Can't hear anything, but might want to look around anyway.
Now what's
Graves
this?
dug up. Thing is, grave robbers don't usually wail and moan that much.
Well, first
Graves
let's
dug
do
up.
some looting.
Thing is, grave robbers don't usually wail and moan that much.
Well, no, that's nothing we need. Alright, what is this? Apparently there are several foul creatures down there. Well, now apparently there's nothing to loot here. Ashes? I don't want that. What's this? Come on now. It's that loot right there. Just rotting flesh. Alright, Rave Duggars. Rave Rebels are gone.
Wait till after dusk to confirm.
Could be some grave robbing ourselves while we're here. There must be something stronger here. Oh, or maybe not.
You'll not find work here. Not paying workers.
Now, who are they? Probably no grave robbers.
Let me live.
Okay, what now?
Come to visit your grandpa's grave, I guess.
Is it Indiana Jones?
What the poking devils? Who are you? Who sent you?
So many questions, so few answers.
Blimey, you're a plumbing philosopher. Get the smarmy cat diddler, lads.
If I only had a crown for every time a bunch like this.
That was just too easy. Nice how I fell head first, almost on that guy's cock. Now what is this, huh? Oh, the Gwent. Gwent is my liberty, Gwent is my fraternity, Gwent release the day's sorrow, Gwent is my morrow. Orders from Robin, whoever Robin is. That foolish flatulence, Flufferbruce, has tried to cheat us again, but he won't get away with it this time. Take a pickaxe and a shovel and pay our dearly departed boss a visit. Her kitty face was hideous to look at even when she was alive, so the very thought of looking at it now she's dead gives me the bloody runs. Take the jewels, pearls, and other valuables bomb-nibbling Bruce tossed into her grave. Oh, and if you see a milksop hanging around the cemetery, break his neck. Robin. P.S. Apparently ever since Selena's death, that kid's been moping near Almore Cemetery, howling at the moon. If I'm alive, and I do, he's got with him the key to the chest we buried with that bitch. Perhaps we could end his suffering by ending his miserable life in the lake. If he hasn't drowned himself already, that is. Alright, I guess we've searched everything now. There was something in that note, right? Something that should tell me where this thing is. So nothing in the chapel here. Built in the Perak Maran. Okay. What is this now?
Tracks?
Yes, it's tracks.
Trampled grass and bloomers. Not the kind of moaning he meant, though.
Now I shall sing you a song. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8.
There's more.
Empty wine bottles. Leftovers. Big to do? Not likely.
Yes, like you're drunk in the
Lots of tracks. Not much I can glean from them, though. Gotta come back after dark.
So let's meditate. Speed up time.
Damn it. More fighting. Noises coming from the catacombs, it seems.
Okay, well this time it's something stronger.
So, noises coming from here. Not a soul. Strange. Doesn't look anything like a grave hag's lair either. Smashed, as if someone threw it against the wall. Here lies Margot de Corentin.
Now we know who we're talking about.
Gold. Can't be grave robbers. None worth their salt would have left this. Louis de Corentin. Died on the day of Saint Zoetham's remembrance. Pretty fresh. Started right around wasn't too long ago. No sign of monsters or grave robbers. Bit of a mess, that's all. Maybe this isn't the spot after all. Strange. Noises clearly coming from that tomb. Impossible.
Now what tomb?
Something's not right. Need to hide, see how things play out.
What? I'm hiding just behind the statue? That's great. Sit
Behind
and wait.
this statue, maybe?
You'd rather lie about all day, flipping those cards like some dwarf. Disgusting. Ha!
Indeed. Far better to stand at the door of Lepioda's temple, mumbling prayers from dawn till dusk.
Ingrate, I prayed for you, that you would cast off the yoke of gambling.
Fine job you did of it. Seems the gods had also heard enough of your cackling. And you? Why are you here? This is a private conversation.
Not so private after all, when you're yelling so loud.
Mind keeping it down? Neighbors are complaining.
Neighbors? Everyone here is dead.
I know not your name, but you must help me. I refuse to spend eternity at the side of this heathen. Remove him from my crypt at once.
Slow down. What's the problem?
This is my crypt, and this saintly shrew harangues me even in death. An eternity of nagging, the misery.
I was blind and a fool to marry him. He's a slave to the cards, prepared to wager his own child on a round of Gwent.
Gwent, you say?
Once, damn it, and as a jest. How many times must I explain? And who sank our fortune into some silly statue of Lepioda?
Piety. That was my cause. The prophet immortalized would have transformed this land of blasphemy and betting. How was I to know it was all a fraud?
Because I warned you some 500 times!
Quiet! Shut up, both of you! Who does the crypt belong to, rightfully?
Must you ask? It's mine. My family's. The Decorantans. Are you illiterate?
True. But my dowry served to repurchase it from those you owed.
Look, if there's to be peace and quiet here, one of you's gotta go. Need to move one of you out.
Yes. Take him. Please. Do so. And I shall tell you where I hid his lucky Gwent cards.
What? I knew it was you! And now you would evict me from my crypt, then pay for the deed with my cards!
Now what is he offering?
Those very cards at the tournament in Belhaven, I'd still be alive. It's your fault, you pox incarnate, that they stabbed me to death.
They murdered you for your debts. I had nothing to do with it.
Come, I heed this good book-thumping wench. Mind, I know well where she hid those cards. I'll tell you myself, as soon as you've removed her.
Well, he is even more unsympathetic, unlikable than she is.
Alright, gotta move one of them out.
Thus spake the prophet Lepioda. Thou shalt not play for coin.
After which he promptly added, for you shall have none left for me!
Heretic, shut your mouth! I shall speak to you no more!
No, no, it is I who shall speak to you no more, you old tart!
Yeah, I'll take him out.
I see you fell for that pious tart's drip. Drats! Oh, well, then listen. I've a request. Be a good fellow and set me in the chamber of the Gwent Friendship Society of Beauclair. It's just round the corner.
Oh, I think I can do that.
That's just it. I was not. But I would have dearly liked to have been. And joining them in death shouldn't bother anyone.
Certainly doesn't bother me. I'll do it. Where's this chamber?
Once you enter the catacombs, go straight. The chamber will be on your right, near the corridor's mouth, and I thank you.
deeper in the catacombs. Right, let's go. Chamber Louis mentioned. Gotta be. That ought to do.
Put him right there.
Right. High time Margot paid up.
Now for those squinted parts. We're such a greedy bastard. Just making all our decisions on Gwen cards. But hey, gotta have some driving force, right?
Done.
Now she betrayed
That way
us.
you got those cards.
She's going down.
Leave the city through the Cooper's Gate. Then we are right. Our house is easily recognized. A tree adorns the sign above the door. I buried the chest in the garden, beneath the rose bush.
Tree on the sign, rose bush. Think I got it.
Might I ask what you did with Louis? True, he knew nothing in life but Gwent, but I would still prefer he not spend eternity in a ditch or privy.
Fear not, he will
Don't worry
not.
about it. Found him a nice place. Ought to feel right at home. Farewell.
Sure, go on. Drink up while you're young, coin in hand.
Oh, come on. Sure, this can't
My legs.
keep a Witcher from getting out.
If I were just a lowly gods.
Reginald Aubrey has returned, not to be missed. Buy your tickets now. Available for free.
Okay, only 100 feet.
Best behave, friend. You're in Beauclair, see?
Right outside the city gates, okay. Could have come out faster.
Welcome to Beauclair, city of love.
Now the rose bush in the garden, eh?
Welcome to Beauclair, city of love.
Medallion's humming. Something's not quite right. Under the rose bush. All right. Just like she said. And the Gwent cards, as promised.
Nice. we're inside their house. Probably not worth the time I'm spending here. Out of that garden.
Welcome to Beauclair, city of love.
A tip of the hat to the...
Okay, now I'll just collect my reward, and I guess then I will have to call it a day. So if you liked what you saw today, and if you enjoyed the adventures of Garrett the Witcher, why don't you just give me a follow? And you'll be notified once it continues.
No such thing as an unsightly lady. An impression of that sort means but the shortage of wine.
Now it's downstairs. Now
I
it's
must have
upstairs.
eaten something rancid.
Ah, here he is.
Hey
Move to
there.
another
I'm
room.
done. Cemetery ought to be real nice and quiet now.
To sleep in my own bed once more. The clogs has grown intolerably loud. The punters bellow like men possessed. One madman especially, always shouting, "Order in, order in." But tell me, at the cemetery, what was it? Beasts, as you claimed?
Yeah, really tough, demanding fight. Barely made it out alive.
Is it your codex? Forbids you from revealing the details? For the best, I dare say. There's a small premium for you.
Yes, small indeed. I know. Well, okay, at least you paid 100 instead of 55. That's honorable. Alright. That's it for today. Thank you very much for joining me. Like I said, why don't you give me a follow? And see you next day. Probably tomorrow very early or around the same time tomorrow night. Until then, take care.